Parenting does not mean just guiding the children on the general values, but they must instill in them our the bhakti or the dedication to our land, to our Madhur Bhumi, our precious Bharat. And I hope that they will be able to do that.
The kind of help parents can give requires mindfulness in the sense of being attentive to the child, understanding the child, and being responsive to the child's needs, because ultimately the child's happiness should be all that matters to us as parents.
The spacecraft came out of the womb of the rocket, and I felt always like that. The mother takes it to the space, it delivers it there for a greater journey beyond that point. I think that symbolizes the roles of a parent and the journey of a child.
If we need to make quantum leaps in social progress, we need to invest in the youngest of children.
जयधारी माँ, नमस्ते, आप सबको प्रणाम। हमारी ऑडियंस का स्वागत है। नवरात्रों की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। एक वर्ड के साथ, एक बहुत ज़रूरी वर्ड के साथ आज का सेशन शुरू करेंगे। I'll spell it out for you. Beautiful. BEYOUTIFUL. ये करना है हमको. We have to help our children find their beautiful. Each beautiful is so unique. The you is there. जी, मामी, आप शुरू करें जी.
Thank you, Sudha, for joining us. You're such an illustrious person, such a busy person. How did you find the time for us? Sudha. Sudha, can you hear me? Sudha is not hearing me. Shakira? Sudha is not hearing us.
जी, we'll just check the connection.
Sudha ji?
Sudha is not hearing us. Sudha, can you hear us?
Okay. While Sudhaji joins us and she starts
Beautiful, I
interacting.
thought, wasn't she? Isn't it? While Sudha joins us, want to welcome the Ravi Shankar family
Yes, yes.
and
Yes.
Hema and this bright sun. Sudha, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, Dr. Kirangiri. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sudha, for joining us. I know
Namaste.
you're very, very, very very, very busy. How did you find the time for us?
Because I think mindful parenting was something that drew me into this program. And I knew I was going to travel today, and I was worried that the flight should come on time. And right now I'm in Kunur. You can see all the beautiful green around me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad the flight was on time and I was able to log in with a lot of difficulty, though.
No, thank you so much. You're so illustrious. The whole nation looks up to you. You
Thank you. To
considered the
hear it from
Sachin-
you especially.
You are looked up as the Sachin of Carnatic music.
I don't believe what you're saying, but because it's coming from you, I will humbly accept it.
Go ahead, Ajay.
Actually, we are absolutely delighted to host this event, bringing together two extraordinary talents, Padma Bhushan Srimati Sudha Raghunathan and music prodigy Rahul Vellal, along with parents, on the auspicious occasion of Navaratri. Sudhaji, Padma Bhushan and Sangeeta Kalanidhi awardee, it is a renowned Carnatic vocalist celebrated for her dynamic performances. Beyond music, she's a philanthropist and educator embodying Carnatic music's global essence. Her work, including mentoring through Sudhar Nava Academy for Musical Excellence, resonates worldwide, inspiring both music and compassion. A warm welcome to you, Sudhaji. I have a
Thank you,
question.
Ajay.
Your work in Carnatic music and philanthropy has had a profound impact. Can you share your insights on how mindful parenting can contribute to the holistic development of children, particularly in the context of nurturing artistic talents and a sense of social responsibility? Over to you.
Thank you for giving me this lovely opportunity to talk about something which is very intense at the same time, which is very relevant and appropriate. Looking at the world now, where all of us are chasing our dreams, kind of getting into our professions and quite being oblivious about what's happening around us. I think as parents, we have a tremendous responsibility towards our children to nurture them, their ideas, their career, their profession, just everything, and put them on the right track, if I might say. Mindfulness is a word that has been used by so many yogic gurus because mindfulness means that to be present in the present moment. And parenting by itself is a huge responsibility. And as we saw the little maxim, the slogan, the quote, parenting is a lifelong process. We think once the child becomes a teenager, it's over. And then when she becomes 21, yeah, she's going to be on her own. When she's 30, yes, definitely. But I think I agree with the person who quoted that it's a lifelong process. And at every stage, we face a different challenge. We face a different way of parenting. Just the method changes. But our role as a parent, I think, remains status quo. Mindful parenting is a beautiful combination of two very complex words, two words that have so much of gravity of meaning in them. I would say it's an approach. Mindful parenting is an approach where we look at raising children, emphasizing on being in the present and enjoying the moment with our children. What I'm going to say right now might be more appropriate for children, not adult children. Because I really feel that once the children touch their mid-20s or beyond that, they become young adults. They want to take their own decisions. They want to chase their own skill sets and responsibilities and dreams. And our role as a parent there becomes more as guidance, more as, swerving them on the right path and reiterating their ideas, trying to tell them that maybe giving them suggestions that maybe this will be better than what you're thinking of. So right now, whatever I experienced, because my children are now young adults, I have a son, Kaushik, and a daughter, Malvika. Both of them are in the United States and on their own now. So wonderful children who really shaped their career by themselves with Raghu's and my, shall we say, guidance and, yes, support, more the support. I have been a parent who has always seconded their ideas, agreed with their thoughts, and tried to, be their friends more than a mom. Always tried to say, yes, I think you're doing the right thing. Many have asked me why Malavi or Kaushik have not become singers, or why I did not put in some art form into them. It was never my wish to pressurize them to get into art. They're very good listeners of music. They're good rasikas of music. Even if one note goes wrong or one beat goes out of place, they'll say, what is this person doing now? So, they get desperate about it. Malvi sings, but of course, not a professional singer. She was a classical dancer, but now she's more a psychologist, trying to shape lives of others. So I have always encouraged them to do what their mind wished to do, to chase their dreams. And that's why probably I have to answer all those questions to all those people who asked me, that I was a parent who was fairly lenient, yet, I drew their boundaries for them, and they also knew that. They have married partners who they chose, and Raghu and I were completely in agreement with the decisions that both of them took. So, as I said, this has been my lifestyle of parenting. What I observed while parenting, I'm going to talk about that very briefly so that it might help parents who have children, in the range of maybe 5 to 20. They might be able to pick up a pointer or two from what I'm going to say. I've just jotted it down for the sake of remembering every point. The first is the mindful presence. See, we sit with the children. I know a lot of parents sit with the children, but do they really vibe with the children? Do they interact with the child? They sit there with the phone, mobile, or they're watching the television, or they're watching their laptop, and the child is next to them doing the homework. That is not really the mindful presence. For me, presence would mean talking with the child, interacting with the child, asking the child what happened in school, what was any kind of challenge that she or he was facing, or is there something that you want to discuss with me, that kind of a casual, very comfortable talk, more discussion. The second was being non-judgmental. I was never judgmental about the decisions that my children took. I accepted their thoughts. Sometimes I had to be more large-hearted and more liberal because I grew up in a very conventional, traditional home. And I think I have really, really wandered away from all those boundaries that my parents drew for me. I have walked out of it into another territory which we created for ourselves. And I agreed with their decisions, with their thoughts, with their feelings. And maybe initially I was a little critical about their thoughts, but then I realized that I was walking into a world where we needed to give the children the freedom that they asked for. So my criticism would be more like generic, general, and more like a suggestion rather than a criticism. Yes, to be a mindful parent or to walk the path of mindful parenting, I think we as parents need to be regulate our emotions. We need to be very strong. We need to be like a role model for the children because they keep looking at us, they keep watching us, they keep picking up a word or thought of what we express. So it's important that we become emotionally very strong, emotionally very stable. The fourth point is understanding a child's perspective and emotions. This is almost akin to the second thought, but it's more like I would use the word empathy, to be empathetic towards. They do face difficult situations in school. They're ragged when they go into college. Their peers put some pressure on them. Their lecturers kind of sometimes maybe pull them up in front of the others. So these are situations where you have to understand what runs in the mind of the child, the child's perspective of what is the challenge that she or he is facing. And we have to respond with kindness, with compassion, with empathy, and more understanding.
Sudha, how did your mother, Sudha, how did
Yes.
your mother, how did your mother mother you?
My mother actually was a perfect role model for me because I think she chased her dream of becoming a musician and she thrust it into me very, very silently, very unobtrusively, because I wanted to become a gynecologist and I took up natural sciences in the first year of college. And I had to swerve from that into economics because, my lecturer told me that if I did work for natural science, then I would have to forego my dream of singing because it requires so much of time. Becoming a doctor is not easy. You have to study for 7 years. So I moved to economics and then sang more. It was my mother and father who put me under my guru, M.L. Vasantakumari Amma. And of course, that I think was the decision of my life, because after that, there has been no turning back. And she was the one who would always say, like even if I went for a competition, I went for umpteen number of competitions and didn't really like that initially because it was a lot of pressure on me. But then she would say, it's a honing ground for you. It's a foundation for you because you face a lot of people and you have to gain that confidence to sing. So I walked along with her and I think it really helped me. And I think, like the singing part of my life, I need to completely give it to my mother. She was the torch, the guiding torch.
Before we let you go, may I ask Ajay, Saina, I have your permission to ask a singer Vande Mataram, which you sang in the Parliament House. Before you
Yes.
After my journey, I got up at 6 today, took the flight at 9, and I don't know what state my voice is in, but I'll try. I will do a prelude of Subramanya Bharati's few lines where he, kind of transliterates the Vande Mataram of Bankim Chatterjee's, and then move into Vande Mataram. நளிர்மணி நீரும் நயம் படுக்க நிகழும் நளிர்மணி நீரும் நயம் படுக்க நிகழும் குளிர் பூந்தென்றலும் கொழும் பொழிற்ப சுமையும் வாய்ந்து நன்கிலகுவை வாழிய அன்னை வந்தே மாதரம் மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலாம் சுபலாம் மலயஜ சீதலாம் சஸ்ய ஷாமலாம் மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் Shubhrajyotsna pulakitayamini pullakusumita drumadala shobhini सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं मातरं वन्दे मातरं Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Mataram, Vande Mataram.
You made the show immortal.
Yes, blessed, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, want to
Yeah,
ask you, music is the language of love.
Total.
How
Devotion.
important is it to talk to your children with that language of love?
How do I do that?
Yes, and how important it is to talk to them with love. Not just give them love, but talk to them with love. That stays on forever.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think there has been big times, like many times when I've chided them or scolded them, admonished them, if I can use the word. It's been more like corrections. It's been more like Kanna, Chellam, Pattu, and all of those little words that we use. Because Kaushik, we used to call him Cow. And it seems everyone in school used to make fun of him. You said COW, cow, and all of that. So, he always used to come back home crying with streaks of dirt on his cheeks, black streaks. And then he would say, everyone's teasing me, saying cow, all of that. So I said, what cow? Cow means Kamadhenu, the giver of so much of prosperity and, so much of goodness. So maybe you can think of yourself as someone who gives a lot of love and, part of yourself. When you behave, interact with your friends, you have to give them something of yourself. Only then that friendship becomes kind of sealed. So I would always tell my children, be that with your friends. Gives a part of you to your friends. It's not to be just peripheral, not to be just words, but to be also in action, a good friend.
But it's so beautiful what you said. It's so beautiful.
Yes, I know we have with us parents exactly doing this as mindful parenting. That's exactly what Ravi Shankar and his wife, the whole team, they're exactly doing this for their son. Let's have them over. Sana, we can thank Sudha and let her go while we go back to her parents. What do you say? Ajay?
Ma'am, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable staying on, or would you like to, as you're comfortable, ma'am?
Yeah, I would stay on because just in case, I would like to pitch in when Ravi Shankar says something because in this case, music binds us together.
Lovely.
Ma'am, thank you. Very, very grateful. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your time. You're very generous.
Thank you, Dr. Bedi. Yes.
Raviji, yes, your thoughts, please.
Hello, namaste to everyone. Firstly, like Sudha ma'am has so beautifully explained most of the points that we were actually thinking of about mindful parenting. So it's basically a journey that we undertake with the child as well, because we don't come with any kind of a experience before. So it's just that we also grow with the child. You want to add?
Yeah. By God's grace, the journey of parenting has been beautiful, and we are also learning a lot in the process. So but I wouldn't say that the journey was always smooth, because when we noticed that Rahul had an extraordinary talent, because we both are from the software background, and there's no musical legacy in the house, and and we had our own challenges and difficulties to face. So with mixed emotions, I would say it was joy, stress, sacrifice, and we had to make a lot of compromises to nurture his talent, which was rare in the family. So both me and Ravi have mindfully worked on it to to nurture his talent.
When did you detect? When did you detect your boy has this talent, music talent?
Yeah, it was actually when he was around 2.5 years. So he used to play with his toys, and we used to continuously play music in the house. Not necessarily classical music always, but all kinds of music, which we used to listen to. But then the next time the song was played, he used to actually hum in some tune, which was very similar to that of original. And that used to happen with many songs, 50, 60 songs. So that is when we realized that he was actually not playing, and he's also listening to the songs which were getting played in the background. So that's when we identified. So we wanted to put him to classical music because we didn't have any background of music. So that is when we thought we'll put him to classical music. But to start with, we thought of putting him to shloka classes, and that is how the journey began.
And
Rahul,
that's
do you remember?
how it relates. That's how
Let's
it relates
ask-
to the point that
Let's
Sudham-
ask Rahul. Let's ask Rahul.
Yeah.
What does he remember?
To be honest, I don't remember anything. I was schooling in my head.
No, you remember everything. Tell us, how did you get adapted into music? What role did parents play for you?
Uh, as my mom said, they both have sacrificed a lot to bring me where I am. And I related to the question what you asked, ma'am. I only remember the memory of me going to my shloka classes and sitting on the lap of my teacher. She used to like me very much because I was quite interested, and I showed improvement in my lessons, whatever she taught me in the previous class. I used to practice it well, and then I used to, represent it to her in the next class. So she was very fond of me, and that is the only memory which I have, because I was, I think, only 2.5 or 3 back then.
And fond memories from that is that even there in her house also, while learning the shlokas, he used to just keep jumping around from a sofa to a sofa on the furniture. She never used to stop him at any point while he was teaching the shloka, and he would pick it up. And at home, if you would ask him to drink a glass of milk, he would have said no. Going to your house, he would say, "I want a glass of milk," right in the house.
Quite embarrassing as well for us.
So if you thought you know the kid what he wants, there is a complete reversal over that.
Was he born with this talent? Was he born with this talent? Or did you identify and then you started to nurture it as parents?
Definitely, I would think it's God's grace. Otherwise, for him to just pick it up at such a young age, I don't think we can train him at that. Definitely, we identified it early, but he's gifted by God with that talent, I would think. So
That's why he's called the prodigy.
Rahul, Beta, I have a little thought for you. Your parents' profile beautifully says it. There are few words written there. They find immense joy in what you do. It's their top priority. How do you feel? How do you carry that forward? How much are you aware of the fact that you mean everything to them, and they find their utmost joy seeing you blossom?
As they've already told, my mom quit her job to support my interests, and I think that was one of the big decisions of our life. And my dad encourages me, and he gives me feedback from an audience perspective whenever I'm practicing. and they both are very much involved in what I am doing, and they give a lot of their time to my music, and they've sacrificed a lot for me, and I don't think I can repay that in any way. But the only thing I can do is, try to get better. Constant comparison of how I was in the previous performance, and then improving myself in the next performance. And I think my performance is that which makes them happy. Yeah, I can't repay them back in any other way.
I think seeing you healthy and happy and being a great human being is going to give them all the happiness in the world.
Definitely.
Raviji, Himaji, a little question. How have you taught him day-to-day life skills? What has his day-to-day routine been like? And how have you taught him swimology? How have you taught him the skills required for living, for life?
Actually, we have allowed him to blossom as any other normal kid. So we didn't. All that we did was that extra attention towards his musical capabilities, taking him to music classes and whatever he wanted to do regarding music. Otherwise, he has led a normal childhood. We allowed him to play with his friends anywhere in the park or wherever he wanted to play, and go for a game of cricket, and any normal kid, or however they would have led their life, that is how he is also. But not that he can do it every day, because he will have his own commitments, and there's a certain sense of discipline that needs to be there for him in terms of practicing every day or attending classes. So that is one thing we take care about. Otherwise, he's done everything which a normal child should do. So we have taken care that during his initial days, that though there were many requests for concerts, we never used to accept too many concerts for him. We thought that that learning, that is the time for learning, and he has to learn during that time, and he has to play with the children during that time. He has to live that normal life. So we limited ourselves to whatever best way we could, and that is what we could do from our end.
And it's more about time management. We sort of had different times for him so that he can explore all the different areas. When he gets a summer vacation and stuff, he would be going to a swimming class where he goes and learns some swimming. And then almost every weekend, me and Rahul go and play badminton, because we were good buddies and they're very competitive in badminton. So we enjoy all that stuff together.
Okay.
Yes.
Did it require you, Hema? Did he require your giving up the job, or could you have combined with it?
No, both of us being in the software field, it was hectic for us. We had hectic schedules, and it depends on the clients with whom we used to work with. They were US clients, so both of us had to juggle through our own hectic schedule. So, and he also, not only about music, vocal music, he also expressed his interest in learning piano and mridangam also. So that is when we thought, okay, one of us will have to give up our jobs and be with him for with him full time. So I quit my job and I started taking him to music classes and looking at all his other school activities, and then Ravi used to sit with him for practice. So that is how we tried to balance. Otherwise, with our hectic schedules, I don't think we could have given that quality time, which we actually did.
That must have been a financial hit. How did you handle the financial hit? Because then you were having two incomes. Now you get one. How did you handle
Absolutely. Living in Bangalore, that matters a lot, because you need to adapt, change your lifestyle a bit, so that you know what expenses are the most important and what you need to cut down on. And that's the priorities obviously change. So based on that, we had to make a bit of compromises on what we were actually doing, because both of us being software and traveling around the world, it had a different impact when that one particular salary gets cut off. So that was a big moment for us in our life, but we are happy that we took that. At that point, we wouldn't know that Rahul would be a performer. It's just for the passion of his music that she taken that decision, but it turned out to be really.
What are the sacrifices you did as parents?
Obviously, one of them is Emma quitting at that particular time, and she was
What
also working
lifestyle?
a really reputed global
What were the
industry.
lifestyle changes you did? What are the lifestyle changes you did?
I mean, a lot of times we would have planned big vacations, maybe going outside or inside of India and stuff, and that these days is quite expensive as well. If you look at it, so cutting down on those and planning it in such a way that it doesn't impact his music as well, and also ensuring that we had to limit the time that we are spending outside without him. So it was a hit on the personal time that we especially had. Probably a friend over a weekend would want us to come for a party, or maybe just to meet us, spend some time together. That wouldn't have been possible because he had his music classes, and then he had to learn something, he had to go and reproduce it back in front of the teacher. So that particular time that we spend, as Sudha ma'am was talking about, it is the time, the quality time that we spend. It's not our presence when they're around. It is how much we are able to contribute to what they're doing and also help them, give feedback. That's what the quality time that we have.
And Rahul, were you recognizing what parents were doing for you? How were you recognizing it? Or you were just taking it for granted?
No, definitely not, because they noticed my interest, and my mom took quite a big decision. So I continued my interest in music, and I continued to practice regularly, a disciplined routine of practicing every day and also studying every day. So I did not get the chance to play as much as my friends did, but I definitely played, and I gave time for both my studies and music, and tried to improve myself constantly.
So how were your friends taking you? What were they calling you? Were they not saying, hey, you're too disciplined, you're losing time, you're not having fun? What happened with your friends and you and your friends?
I've heard a lot like this from my friends, but I used to come home and discuss it with my parents that, my friends told me like this, and is it right what we are doing and all that. So my parents used to motivate me, put me on the right track, and remind me of what I have to be doing, music practice and also studies. So I've never let those thoughts spoil my goal of practicing every day.
So you were making your right choices from your thoughts. You
Yeah,
didn't get
definitely.
swayed by your friends. You didn't get swayed or impacted by your friends' distractions.
Not much, yeah.
Not much. What do you mean?
I mean, as a child, naturally you feel that when someone says something to you, you feel that's right. But yeah, at that moment. But then when you discuss it with someone like your parents, then you get to know the reality, and then you get to know that what you're doing is for your good.
So that's exactly what Sudha mentioned, where you sit down with your parent, with your children. You sit down with your children and listen, isn't it? Sudha?
Yeah, exactly. Sit down and talk to them. What happened? What are you going to do tomorrow? What's for homework? Have you finished your homework? Not like asking them to repeat everything, but taking participation in their activities.
Ma'am, how important is the harmony at home, and
Extremely
the harmony between you and your husband? That question is for Raviji and Himaji. Ma, bless the bond, because I feel that, and that harmony has led to a lot of growth for your children. So how
Yes.
important is that harmony at home?
I think harmony plays a pivotal role, really, very much. Even if you have disagreements, even if you have something to express in the negative to your husband, it should be done in privacy, like not in front of the children. Because they want to see their parents happy always. They want to see their parents in agreement, not arguing or shouting at the top of their voices. So I think once it happened, and Kaushik was very upset by it. He said, "What is happening, Amma? Why is Appa scolding you?" I said, "He's not scolding me. He's just telling me that what I did was wrong and that I needed to have done something else. And then he understood. I said, okay. So, they're very sensitive, especially when they enter teens. I think that's the formative stage where their emotions have to be respected, and we need to kind of divide that part, where we need to argue with the spouse. That has to be done separately, not in front of the children.
Ji, ma'am. Ravi ji, your thoughts?
No, absolutely. Sudha ma'am is spot on over there. It's about having that harmony and also being able to control your emotions because your child is watching you constantly. And more than your words, they reciprocate your actions. Whatever you say, they may not do it, but whatever you do, they'll definitely do it. So we have to be very careful with our actions when we're in front of the child. So disagreement.
Rahul, what were you watching? What were you watching? You're watching now also, right? Now tell us, what were you watching?
When I was very young, I didn't have brains to assess what was happening around me. But most of the time they were in agreement with each other. And once in a blue moon, when they were in a disagreement, I used to pitch in and make it,
What did you say? You became the peacemaker. You became a peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's very interesting. The child becoming a peacemaker in mindful parenting, right?
Yeah. He tries to do that actually.
It's a very important observation, which while talking to children, I'm noticing. It's very important for children. It should be a need of them to see their mommy and daddy one. It should be important to children to see their parents one, to have a loving home. As they grow, that's an understanding they need to develop. Rahul, Beta, what does it mean? I want to know. What does it mean? I know the word sacrifice has been used, but deep down, it's a word for your parents. What they've given you is pure love. You belong to them. What they've actually given you is pure love, Peter. And what I want to know is, in your heart, what does it mean for you to love them back? What does it mean loving your mommy and daddy back? In little things, how do you express that?
When I was very young, I mean, even now I'm young, but when I was very, very young, I used to make greeting cards for my parents' birthdays, which were handwritten. I used to learn the origami from the YouTube and try it out myself and present it to them on their birthday. And as I grew up, I think I've realized the sacrifice that they have done to support me in my career, to nurture my talent. And as I told earlier, I'm constantly trying to improve myself by listening to my last performance, improving the flaws, and making the people happy. And I think that's what makes my parents happy. And when it comes to personal life, I think we spend quality time together. We go out on vacations whenever we have time, and we spend quality time together. So I
Give
do
the audience.
everything I can to make my parents.
Rahul, Betty, give us an illustration of your talent.
Yes.
Go ahead. Just as Sudha has fed us with such wonderful talent, let's make this session uniquely immortal. Both Sudha performing and you also. Go ahead.
Is the Tanpura too loud? Is it fine?
All looks good.
Blessed.
It's fine. It's fine.
Ji.
వెంకటాచలనిలయం వెంకటాచలనిలయం వైకుంఠపురవాసం వెంకటాచలనిలయం వైకుంఠపురవాసం పంకజనేత్రం పంకజనేత్రం పరమ పవిత్రం పంకజనేత్రం పరమ పవిత్రం శంఖచక్రధర చిన్మయ రూపం వెంకటాచలనిలయం వైకుంఠపుర పంకజనేత్రం పరమ పవిత్రం శంఖచక్రధర చిన్మయ రూపం వెంకటాచల నిలయం వైకుంఠపుర మకర కుండలధార మకర కుండలధార మదన గోపాలం మకర కుండలధార మదన గోపాలం మకర కుండలధార మదన గోపాలం భక్త పోషక శ్రీ పురందర విఠలం భక్త పోషక శ్రీ పురందర విఠలం భక్త పోషక శ్రీ పురందర విఠలం వెంకటాచల నిలయం వైకుంఠపురవాసం పంకజనేత్రం పరమ పవిత్రం శంఖచక్రధర చిన్మయ రూపం వెంకటాచల నిలయం వెంకటాచల నిలయం వెంకటాచల నిలయం వైకుంఠ పురవాసం పురవాసం హరే
Bale, Vesh.
Wow.
Bless you. Ma bless you.
What a rare program we've had today, Ajay. Ajay?
Yeah. Thank you,
What a
Rahul,
rare-
for the beautiful Sindhu Bhairavi.
Yeah.
Thank you, uncle. My pleasure.
So, Rahul Nair, what is your take?
Rahulji.
No words, madam. Actually, I'm happy that we both share the same name, first name. So, yeah, but actually, when I was just before the discussion, I was just going through his Wikipedia. It says that he's 16-year-old, but all the answers which is coming out of his mouth, not a 16-year-old boy. I think every answer was so mature, and somebody who's having a lot of wisdom is speaking here. So I don't have any much question. Or have a question to both the parents. When I was, it said that we are raised with do's and don'ts, so don'ts and no's. So have you ever said no to him, and how you managed to say no in some situations?
Yeah, there have been situations when we have told him no, like especially where even while he was very young, say about 3 years, for example, when we had to take him for the shloka classes. So it was almost like it was not the duration was not much. It was probably for around 15 minutes. But then every day he had to go for the classes. But then very rarely he used to ask, can I skip the class today and play with children whom he used to see while he was stepping out for the classes. Then I used to say, no, it's only for 15 or 20 minutes. We will be back in half an hour's time and then you can play. But there's no excuse, or you cannot skip the class and go for a play. So that kind of discipline was what we thought was important from a very young age. So we have said a couple of no's also.
And I think he might have accepted in the right sense also, I believe.
Yeah. Actually, yes. What we have seen is that maturity from a very young age.
Yeah, so this is, now we are going through the Navaratri time. I thought of asking you to sing 1 or 2 line of any Saraswati or some Pahimam Sri Raja Rajeshwari or something. Can you sing 2 lines, just 2 lines? You already performed once, but I'm sorry, my personal request.
Sure, definitely.
After this, Sudha, will you also please join in for 2 lines on the goddess? Anything on goddess?
Okay. Let Rahul finish.
And we could after Rahul, we could have yours, and this is how we can finish the program.
Sure.
Am I right? Okay, Saina? Is that okay, Ajay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Sudha, we can have you after. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Saraswati Namostute. Saraswati Namostute. Sharade Vidya Prade. 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 Saraswati Namostute. Karajita Veena Pustaka 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 Varamani Mala Lankrita Karajita Veena Pustaka Varamani Mala Lankrita Salima Pada Pamapada Sapada Nida Pamari 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 Salima Pada Sarimari Nida Pamari Salima Pada Sarimari Nida Pamari Saraswati Namostute. Sharade Vidya Prade. Saraswati Namostute.
So this particular kriti in Tamil, it asks the goddess for a very happy life. Ananda Vazhvu Alitidal Vendum. So I think it would be quite right and befitting to finish the program with this, with these words to the goddess on at a time like Navaratri. கருணை தெய்வமே கற்பகமே, கருணை தெய்வமே கற்பகமே, காண வேண்டும் முதல் பற்பதமே, கருணை தெய்வமே கற்பகமே. ஆனந்த வாழ்வு அளித்திட வேண்டும், ஆனந்த வாழ்வு அளித்திட வேண்டும், ஆனந்த வாழ்வு அளித்திட வேண்டும். அன்னையே எம்மேல் இறங்கிடல் வேண்டும், ஆனந்த வாழ்வு அளித்திட வேண்டும். அன்னையே எம்மேல் இறங்கிடல் வேண்டும், நாளும் உன்னை தொழுதிட வேண்டும். நாளும் உன்னை அழைத்திட வேண்டும், நலமுடன் வாழ அருளல் வேண்டும், கருணை தெய்வமே கற்பகமே, காண வேண்டும் பொற்பதமே, கருணை தெய்வமே கருணை தெய்வமே, கருணை தெய்வமே கற்பகமே, கற்பகமே கற்பகமே கற்பகமே.
Jayadhari Ma.
Jayadhari. Thank you so much. So grateful, Sudha. You all stayed back and further spiritualized the whole program.
I was so happy to see Rahul and his parents, and of course, we don't get every evening to spend time with you. So,
Rahul, thank you so much. Ajay, thank you so much for bringing such wonderful guests. Ajay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Ajay is very quiet today, very
No,
low profile.
please say something, Ajay.
With such
Ajay.
performances, I don't have anything more to ask or say. Just other than thank you, Sudhaji, Ravi Shankar, Hema, Rahul Vellar, ma'am, then Sainaji and Rahul Nair. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your gracious presence and invaluable contributions during this session. Your insights and expertise have added immense depth to our discussion on mindful parenting, making it an enriching, enlightening, and musical experience for all involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, Saina.
Watching.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Rahul,
you.
we'll keep watching you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
We'll keep watching you, Rahul, to growing up. While we keep listening to Sudha, we'll keep watching you.
Thank
And
you.
you have our blessing. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
जी माँ bless all our children. हंसते खेलते रहे हमारे बच्चे. माँ bless
Thank
all
you.
of them. जयधारी माँ to all of you.
Jai
Thank
Ma.
you.
Jai
जी
Dhari.
जी.
Thank you.
Bless you, Pita. Jayadhari.